Welcome to the Money Watch Show. It's Thursday, October 31st. I am Jill Schlesinger. I am your co-host and gal extraordinaire, podcast gal extraordinaire. Mark Talercio is my co-host. Mark, are you going to put that in there with you taking a sip?
I think I will leave it in, yeah.
Jeez Louise.
That's real life.
Oh, yeah. Remember, everyone at Paramount said, oh, we really want to get to know the real you and Mark. I'm like, okay, good luck with that. Mark and I are here to help answer your financial questions, but we will start with, we are recording this the day after the Mets lost. And so this is all going to be dated. But Mark, how are you feeling about the loss of the Mets?
Oh, I'm fine. I mean, look, if you went back in May and June, did I ever in a million years think I would be watching the Mets in playing in mid to late October? No, not a chance. So I'll take it. I'll be happy with it. All
right. Me too. I am too. So congratulations to Mr. Stevie Cohn for rebuilding the Mets with all of his largesse from Wall Street. And what else now, Mark?
It's Halloween.
It's Halloween. You know I hate Halloween.
Me too.
What's going to happen? This is your first Halloween in the new place, so you have an actual neighborhood instead of an apartment. Have you already set Theo's sights a little bit lower that he won't be able to get nearly as much candy if you're on foot?
I mean, you got to see the places. Some of these people, they just wait all year for Halloween because some of these decorations are just out of control. I mean, it's intense.
Have you ever done the Diker Heights in Christmas?
For the Christmas lights? Yeah. We're going to do it this year for sure.
Okay. This is a part of Brooklyn, gang, that is incredible. Like, it really is. Like, the people in this neighborhood, I don't think you can move into the neighborhood if you're unless you're willing to sign in blood that you're going to have great Christmas decorations. But Halloween decorations, okay, go for it, man. I mean, that's fun. Anything off limits for Theo in terms of candy that he's not allowed to have? Is there something that you and Amanda are going to say, like, you cannot have that?
No, I don't think there's anything he can't have. He's just got to watch how much he has of whatever it is he has.
Does he have a sweet tooth?
Oh my God, he's got an everything tooth. Yeah. He likes to consume.
Okay, that's a good thing. How many dumplings can he do in a serving? That's really the question.
You give him 8, he'll put those down, no problem.
Oh, love this guy. Love this young man. He is the best. All right. Well, Mark, what's your favorite Halloween candy to get? Like, when he gets it, you're going to be like, oh, this is good. This is mine. What's your fave?
Nah, I was always like, give me like a mini Kit Kat or give me a peanut butter cup. What's the one? 100 grand, 1,000 grand. What was that bar?
$100,000 bar. 100 grand. You like that? You like the nougat? To be clear, I was a Snickers M&Ms kind of person with a side order of Twizzlers. I can always have a Twizzler.
What about Baby Ruth?
Negative.
I always liked Baby Ruth.
And I think now I'd like it more. Way back when, I liked Mounds, not Almond Joy. Now I'd rather have an Almond Joy than a Mounds.
Did you ever like Payday?
That's also that's like a nougaty thing also, isn't it?
That's just full of, it's like layered with peanuts on top.
Nah.
A lot of caramel.
I don't want that. No. It's too much. It's like, no, it's too much work.
Right.
I'm not into the work. And just for anyone who's sending me anything, I mean, I'd rather have a bowl of pasta. So I'm not a sweets person. It's just, by the way, I was at my 5th of 6 weddings recently. They put the cake on the table, but now there's a thing, Mark, where they have like snacks when you're like after the party, like, oh, you had your dinner, your dessert is served. They're having like sort of like an after party vibe. And there were sliders. So I skipped dessert. I went straight to sliders. That's me. That's how I roll, just in case anyone wants to know. Not into the whole sweets thing. All right, let us get to our listener who's on the line. It is Jim, who's here from Connecticut. Jim, do you celebrate Halloween in your household?
Yes.
How?
We try to turn all the lights off and not let anybody come to the door.
I love that about you. You roll like in my building. So Mark knows this. In New York, what happens is, if you live in a big building, what you do is you put a little sign on your door like, hey, trick or treaters, come here, or don't come here. So we always do the don't come here, and we leave the building just because we're nice like that. I'm nice to your kids every day. I don't have to do Halloween.
We like the little kids that come.
All right. Yeah, that's cute. It is cute. They're adorable. You're adorable too, Jim. What can we do for you?
Well, I am planning on retiring next year.
Mm.
And I think my wife and I are in a good spot. But, some of the questions I have, with Roth conversions, I do have access to a pension. Do I want to take a lump sum or annuities? So, I mean, there's a lot going on, and I've kind of tried to break it out into like 5-year segments because like every 5 years, something's going to happen. Because
I like that.
Because my wife is like, she's 5 years younger than I am. So she has to get me to Medicare and,
How old are you, Jim?
So I'm 61. I'll be 62 in February.
Okay. Your wife, you said, is 6 years younger, 5 years younger?
5, yeah. So she's 56 now.
And are you both working full time?
Yeah.
How much do you earn, Jim?
I'm around 150 with annual bonuses, which has been pretty consistent.
Okay, great. And how much does she earn?
About 120.
And you said you will be entitled to a pension, right?
Yes.
Tell us the basics of that pension. When does that pension kick in?
So I can choose whenever. So I was thinking around age 66.
What's the pension benefit at age 66?
So with like 50% to my spouse, it would be do you want monthly or yearly?
Whatever you want. Go crazy.
Yeah,
what's easier for you?
It would be 30,000 yearly.
Okay, great. That pension does not preclude you from claiming Social Security, right?
No.
Okay. So what's your retirement, your Social Security retirement benefit, 67 or 70, whatever you give me. If you have both of those, it would be great.
Yes, around 67, it's around 40,000.
And 70? Do you know that number?
I think it was 44.
Okay, great. So game plan. Let's go into this for a second. So game plan is you retire next year and you wait to claim your pension. Will the pension benefit get much better if you wait? Is like 66 optimal for you? Is there a reason to wait, not to just crank on it immediately?
No, it's not really. I mean, it goes up. So it goes up roughly like 4 or 5% a year. So,
that's good.
Yeah. So, if I wait 4 or 5 years, it'll be another $20,000 or $30,000 a year.
Okay. I mean, that's good. That's good to know. How much do you guys spend right now?
We're right around 8,000
a month. Okay.
Yeah, a month.
You have grown kids?
Yeah, we've got 3 26-year-old triplets.
Oh my God. That is unbelievable. Mark, is this our first triplet on the show?
I think so.
Wow.
What was that like?
It was interesting. I tell you, time just flew by.
All I can say is that you went from, I'm a sports gal, so let me just say, Mark, they were like doing they skip over all the different defenses. You have the 2-on-1 trap, you have the man-to-man coverage, and you're well into like you're in zone. You are in serious zone defense. So they're okay, and meaning they're on their own, or do you need to help them out?
Oh no, they're all working. One's out. One lives in Boston. 2 are still home. One's getting married next year, so she'll be leaving. And then my son, they're all doing great. It's just they don't want to leave. We make it too easy for them.
Well,
to stay.
I guess you do. Geez, how much is your home worth?
Around 600.
Is there a mortgage remaining on it?
No.
Okay. Is your wife entitled to a pension?
She is.
Oh, tell us about her pension. We love her.
Yeah, I know. At 60, so she's going to retire from a school system at 60, and that'll be 60,000 a year.
Wow. And okay, wait a second. She has 60, you have your 30, with your 50% survivor. Each of you have pensions. Are they both COLA? Do they have cost of living adjustments?
Hers will, mine doesn't.
Okay, gotcha. Now let's get into what you've saved besides the 600 grand that's sitting in the equity of your home. What about your money in the bank, money in brokerage, money in retirement accounts? You go in whatever order you want to go.
Okay. So I'm not like that normal guy last week that had
normal guy. Yeah, right.
So.
Oh yeah, I'm just a normal guy with millions of dollars. Not normal. Except you're really not normal because you have triplets, so that's already makes you unique.
But it's not abnormal either. So I mean, we're doing okay. So we've got 1.5 in a taxable IRA. I did, and I just recently, within a week or two ago, I just started moving my money out of my 401k
Okay.
into a taxable IRA. So 1.5 in a taxable IRA, 300k in a Roth. My wife has 150k in a taxable 403b.
When you say taxable, what you mean is pre-tax. It has not been taxed yet.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
300,000 in cash / CDs, high yield savings accounts.
Is some of that for that wedding next year?
Some, yes, it is.
How much?
20 to 25.
Oh my God, you got off easy. Forget, I'm not even putting it in. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. I have an inherited, like a beneficiary IRA of 90,000.
Mm-hmm.
And 20,000 in an HSA.
Okay, great. This is all great news.
Yeah.
So we know that you got to pay your taxes on a lot of money, right? We know that. And good and bad. The good news is you're going to have a lot of taxable income. And the bad news is you're going to have a lot of taxable income. You're great. You're in great shape. Mark, anything that you see here that stands out to you except the triplets, besides the triplets?
No, having a lot of taxable income is it's better than the alternative.
Indeed.
Right.
But what do you think in terms of, we've got 1.65 that has not been taxed yet. Should we start converting some of that or taking some of that when Jim retires next year? So we'll be down, the 150 will be done. Then they'll be at 120,000 in income, right? There's no other income coming in besides your wife's, right?
No, I may work just a little bit. I don't want to go from full-time to zero.
But let's say it is possible, Mark, I'm going to give you this option. So right now, they are in, sort of most of their money gets taxed at the 22 or the 24% bracket. Jim retires next year. We lose the 150. Let's say he's making some money, but whatever. They're basically now their top bracket is 22%. My question to you, Mark, is should Jim withdraw some of the money that is in that IRA before his pension and his wife's pension kicks in?
I would. That's going to be their only chance to get some of it out. I wouldn't convert. I would just start taking it out.
That's what I would do, because I don't want to burn up your cash, which is great to have. But how would you feel about the 24% bracket to pull some of this money out? Like you could basically say to interesting. I'm just thinking out loud here, Jim. So you're done in next year, right? You're done at the end of is it the end of next year or like when you turn 62?
Probably the middle, probably around June.
So you figure it out. You take some money out. You'll be earning some money, until then. But
yeah,
you're 60 from, the end of the beginning of 2026, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then So for those, what if those 5 years you pulled out as much money as would take you to the top of the 24% bracket? You would take that money out. You would essentially, in some of this cash is probably going to get invested. You're going to have some money that is basically in a brokerage account, and then have that to build on. And so when you talk about chunks, I think of it as like 5 years, right? Like 5 years between the time you retire and then when you start collecting your pension and your Social Security and then your wife's pension. It may even be worth it for you to really look at that $1.5 million as, it's not really $1.5 million. Let's say it's $1 million once you pay the taxes on it. That is just this extra pot of money that is ending up in a brokerage account to pay for whatever else you want to happen. Because otherwise, you're in really good shape. Even if your $8,000 a month spend is a little bit wrong, maybe it's closer to 9 or even 10, you're in great shape. You guys are going to be able to do whatever you want. So there's no real reason for you to have any consternation about it. I think you are in good shape. Oh, wait a second. The inherited IRA, we have to put that into the equation. When does that have to come out by? When did the clock start ticking on that?
It really doesn't. I don't think it has to come out because I've had it for a long time, and I just been pulling the minimum out of it. And
okay, that's good. So you had the stretch.
Yeah, I was thinking, if I was going to do some of these Roth conversions, I was going to take that RMDs out of there in the next 2 years before the tax rates potentially change
Mm-hmm.
and use that money to pay, to help offset the taxes from the conversion. So I guess that's what I wanted to ask you about. So you're saying, okay, just pull it out and put it in a brokerage versus.
I mean, you could do either. It really depends about your liquidity, how much money you really have on. You have this 300 grand in cash and CDs. You can convert a bunch of your IRA money, right? You can. There's no problem with that. And that's okay. There's really not a downside to it. But the issue is that you would be burning up some of your cash on hand. Now, of course,
Right.
you could be taking out whatever you contributed to the Roth. So it's fine. And I'm okay with that. It's a lot of people like to have the ability to just have that cash available upon retirement. But your wife is working, you're going to have a pension. You could do any combination of these ideas, pulling the money out, converting it, taking the money out when you know the tax brackets are what they are. The other thing is, if you retire next year, if tax laws do change, it is unlikely to impact you. Because as we talk here, before the election, no matter who gets in, even if the part of the tax changes go into effect, they're probably not going to impact you, because the idea is that they would be impacting people who make over a certain threshold. And I don't think that's going to be you. But I do like the idea of getting some of this money out and or converted to pay the tax due when you know what the tax rate is.
And at the same time, that allows him to let his pension keep on growing, because I like that it continues to grow.
I do too. I would like to know, Jim, if your pension has a moment where it stops. In other words, will that pension keep growing at 4 to 5% a year? At some point, it stops, like at age 70. Is there a point where you can't get any more out of it?
I don't know the answer to that question.
I'd love to know that.
Yeah.
I really would. Because I think it's interesting, because it's like having a fixed account that is growing at 4 to 5% a year.
Right.
And so it might be nice to have that. But again, you're in great shape. Can I ask you some boring questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have your estate documents done?
Oh, yes, we do.
He's like, hell yeah. Jim from Connecticut, give your notice, get the hell out of there, convert or take your money out, and don't drive your wife crazy, will you? All right, just
Great.
be nice, okay?
Thank you for
Good luck.
the insight.
All right, good luck. Hey, if you're like Jim in Connecticut, 2 pensions, man. God dang it.
And
triplets.
And 2 point something in million saved, yes.
Oh my God, triplets. It's insane to think about that.
And they're all doing well. How about that? 3 for 3.
3 for 3. Oh my, 2 are home. It would be like if he said 3 for 3, they're all out and they're making money and they're on their own. I'd feel a tiny bit better. But anyway, it sounds like they're good kids. And Jim's a good kid. So if you want to run your scenario by us, whatever it is, give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the contact us button, write us a note. If you want to join us on the air live, check that box. We'll do everything else. Don't forget, sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every single Friday. Mark does a great job with that. You really do. Mark is the co-host and executive producer and king of all things web. His name is Mark Talercio, by the way. We are distributed by Paramount Global. We drop our episodes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. And put your hands metaphorically on someone's back. Someone needs that. Someone needs a hug. Someone needs a virtual hug. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Happy Halloween for those who are celebrating. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Paramount Podcasts.